Greetings, I'm Demonac, and it's arena time. So I'm 1-0 with my rogue deck, and I'm fairly optimistic about this deck so far. The casting cost curve is a little bit deceptive. It shows this giant spike in 2-cost stuff. Almost about half of the 2-cost stuff is removal. The deck has virtually nothing that is extremely fat, but it has a ton of stuff in the 4 and 5 cost range, like solid, powerful 4 and 5 cost creatures. About a third of the deck is non-creatures, which is pretty much all removal, and that's a lot of removal. So the hope is that I can survive long enough to start getting out 4 and 5 cost stuff, use my 4 and 5 cost stuff to kill off any of my opponent's weaker creatures, and use my removal to get rid of his more dangerous creatures. And in that way, hopefully win. Seems like an okay strategy. We'll see how it goes. It's a little bit slow at the start, because again, so many of these cheap cards are just removal, so I'm not gaining board position early on. Or it's less likely that I will be. Going second here, I don't know if I should have kept the questing guy. I mean, I do have the coin, but I would have to wait and not use the coin yet. I'm inclined to use the coin to get out the Amani Berserker, because he's pretty awesome first turn play. But yeah, so that's pretty good. I've got a lot of removal in my hand. I'm glad I got this guy, because him plus the removal should actually help me control the board effectively. The Knife Juggler does not. Probably going to have to suicide this guy and kill the Knife Juggler, because the Knife Jugglers are so bad for me, for anyone really. You know what? No. It's going to be difficult. He could potentially play 2 creatures next turn, but it's less likely. And it's still random. I'm actually going to attack him directly. I think he might just trade the Knife Juggler for my Berserker, because if he does 1 damage to it, then this thing is kind of scary. It still shouldn't be that easy for him to get rid of it with his sword and his dagger and stuff. And adding this means that the randomness is less likely to favor him. I mean, now it's less likely to trigger my Enrage too. That's a trade-off, but yes. See, now he'll probably just trade his Knife Juggler. I can't imagine he wants to start taking 5 every turn this early in the game. He's got no mana left. He can't backstab it. His 0-cost removal does 2 damage, but it only works on creatures that are undamaged. Yeah, he had to do that. He had no choice. He did have a choice if his Knife Juggler had hit something else, but no, that was no good for him. So we've got a couple of choices here. My temptation is to play the Demolisher, because it's awesome. I could, if I wanted to kill that, I could attack it and use my dagger. I could play the Abusive Sergeant to boost this guy and then attack and then make a dagger, which would leave this at 1 health, but he would respawn his duplicate thing. I could hit him, knock him down low, and then play this guy and heal mine back. That all seems kind of sad. Yeah, none of those are good options. I'm just going to play the Demolisher, let it do its job. So he can attack the crocodile and then attack it with his dagger. That's a lot of effort to kill the crocodile, and I'm not too concerned about that. Besides, this is the one he wants to get rid of, more likely. He might be doing that, or he might have an AoE. No, he's just going to spend that much effort to get rid of it. Okie dokie. I'm okay with that. Spend your 2 mana to play something with 1 toughness. I would laugh so hard. I may have to laugh. I kind of committed myself. 4 mana, I do have a 1-drop, so yeah. I committed. I said I would. Now, I can just kill that. If I play the Abusive Sergeant, I do kind of want to attack my opponent, but then it'll make it easier for him to trade for the Sergeant. On the other hand, this thing will stay alive, so yeah, whatever. I'm just going to do that.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
It makes my turn feel better for me and feel worse for my opponent, so we'll go for the psychological edge, even though that's not actually gaining me a whole lot of position. Because he has the dagger and this guy that can, either one can easily kill him. He has his choice. And this is still not very strong without its ability. Fen Creeper is going to cause me some trouble, probably. Take a little bit more effort to get rid of that. Weird. I mean, that does mean this can't survive the Fen Creeper, so there's a certain logic to it. It still strikes me as a weird play, but whatever. Now, I could play the Gnome and draw a card. That doesn't give me a very effective board position, though. I have no good means of getting through the Fen Creeper. And it can just keep hitting me for 3 every turn. When he does get out more stuff, I'm probably going to want to Betrayal it. Either hurt it from something else or use it to squash his other things. But for now, I'm going to play the thing with Taunt. It's not like my army is of any value to me. So now he's the one who's also going to have a fairly hard time getting through. Again, this guy, if you attack him, the creature that attacks him takes 6 damage. If it kills him. I mean, I guess he can attack it and not kill it, but then how does that help him? So, yeah. The Abomination's going to stop this pretty dead. Unless he manages to kill it in some other way. I mean, he could just assassinate it. But even if he assassinated it, it wouldn't kill this thing. And, yeah, it just wouldn't change the board position too much. It would help him out, because then he could attack me and do other stuff. But is he going to take 4 in the face? I don't know if this guy understands how weapons work. You know that if you keep getting hit with the weapon, your hero is going to die, right? If you keep attacking with it that way. Some people are way too cavalier about that. I do not understand why he's doing that. So Betrayal is still no help to me because he hasn't got out more stuff. I'd like to cast the Gnome and draw a card, but I don't want that guy sitting around getting stronger. So I'm going to silence him. I don't have enough to cast my Questing Adventurer first, so yeah. I'm just going to kill your ability to be useful and do more damage to my opponent because killing his creatures is less of a priority because I know if he gets out more things I can Betrayal him. And frankly, he's so low, I can just burn him down. I don't know how he plans to survive. I can't believe that he was willing to take the 4 in the face to kill off the Abomination. He would have been much better off... I don't know. He would have been much better off not doing that. That was horrible for him. I'm at full health and he's got virtually none. If I was Mage, I could probably kill him next turn. Almost without attacking. Are you seriously? You're gonna take 4 again? You're doing my job for me.
Thanks.
I shouldn't be insulting, but like, you're screwing yourself. How? I don't know what this guy's plan to win was, but I find the way he's using weapons not very good, to put it mildly. Now I have a sprint, which is even stronger stuff going on. I can kill off all his forces with the junk I have in play, which I might want to because I'm running out of stuff.
I wonder.
But yeah, so I think I'm going to go for the Questing plus Gnome combo. Works out to my full 7 mana, this guy ends up being a decent size, and I draw a card. That'll help in case my opponent has some plan for coming back. I'm going to kill that. And I will let you have your 1/1. I'm going to hit you in the face because it's getting you closer and closer to an early grave. Like, he can't use this for removal anymore. If he had a bigger weapon, some of those plays would have made sense. Taking 3 or 4 damage is okay if you're killing a creature that's going to be doing 3 or 4 damage to you every turn. But when he's spending another card and using the weapon and taking full damage from the creature, it's... well, you can see what has happened. That's why I'm still kind of ambivalent about the whole weapon strategy. It works okay for a warrior. Like, they have the worst ability ever, but at least it does kind of synergize. If priests had weapons, it would synergize just as well, but then it would make warriors look even worse. Okay. The weapon's good for hitting your opponents because you don't take damage back. But yeah, you're not in a good position, buddy. Heal myself unnecessarily and play a giant fatty. Is there any way I can kill him this turn? Not even close. I don't have the stuff. It's not even worth using my removal, both of which are way too good for the junk he has in play. I do probably want to kill the questing adventurer before it gets any bigger, so I'll just use my gnome for that. Yeah.
Hey, give me a minute.
Do that. My health is so high actually that I'm going to use this guy for buffing my gnome back up instead of doing myself, because that's how far ahead I am. Then I'll play him. My hand's all cards that his drawback doesn't affect. I can get a weapon, I could sprint, I can betrayal and assassinate if he had an awesome turn. He's going nowhere. I feel sorry for him, but he did it to himself. Like, I don't know what he could have done. I can't see his hand. Maybe that was the only choice he had, but you know, that's a good move there. That's perfectly, like, that's useful. That's helping buy him time. I already had more cards anyway. But, yeah. On the other hand, I do get to draw a card and gain 3 life again, which is annoying. But again, that's what he had to do. He had to, like, not die. So this time I don't have a questing guy to try and buff, so I'm going to cast the gnome first and see if I draw something useful. Eviscerate, I could just do 4 damage directly to my opponent. That would only leave me with 3 mana. So instead of casting him, I do 4 damage now, and then cast this guy, I guess. Then I would have a pretty deadly army. Alternatively, I could kill off all his forces with a betrayal and my sword. That seems like a waste of effort. His forces are just not worth that much killing. I'd like to be able to play her, but I can't do that and do one of my awesome 2-cost moves. I think I'm going to do the 4 damage to my opponent because he's so on the ropes that I can just batter my way through him the hard way. I'm going to heal myself. And eviscerate you. I don't like leaving the raid leader in play. There's some theoretical badness he could do, but he's on the ropes. He's got very few cards left. It's not like he's going to kill me. He does need to kill both of these guys or he's dead. The taunt helps him be more alive. So that's good for him. But yeah, this guy's just getting assassinated. Assuming, or he might not. I don't have to bother actually. I just assassinate the one with taunt and then I win. Unless he kills off both of my guys, basically. Nope. Game over, man. Game over. That's kind of not needed. We'll just do this the straightforward way.
Well played.
I betrayal him anyway, because it's funny. Attack. I don't like how long their animations take sometimes. Some of them have way too much delay. Okay, another win for Rogue Kind. So, that game was pretty one-sided once my opponent started hitting himself in the face. You gotta watch, those weapons are very double-edged in this game. The reason that we fawn over the that paladin one, the True Silver Champion, is because when it's healing him 2 every time, that basically completely removes the disadvantage. Now, it's the only time he's hurting himself significantly to attack with that is if he's beating up something that has like a 5 or 6 power or something. Because if you're killing something with 4 attack, he's only losing 2 health. It's well worth it. I'm just going to keep these cards. I'll probably get worse if I trade one. I've got 1 removal and 2 low-cost creatures. That's about as good a starting hand as I'm going to get for going first.
Greetings.
Going first is bad. So bad. My opponent did nothing with his first turn. That's okay, but it does mean that he's going to coin something even bigger now. Get the Crocolisk. This is what he's for. I don't want to draw him later in the game, but right now, for the second turn, he's a very good use of 2 mana, even with no abilities, even though he's much worse than the Berserker. 2/3 is a very good stat to put out on your second turn because it wins, or at least doesn't lose, against virtually everything that your opponent can play for 2 mana. I mean, a Warlock could play like the Harpy or whatever not Harpy. You know the one, the Seduce, the Succubus. They can play Succubus. The Succubus costs 2 and can beat this thing without dying, but even then it's like virtually dead, and they discarded a card at random for that, so yeah. Let's see. Don't have great options here. If I play the Questing Adventurer, he's just going to get mauled.
I wonder.
On the other hand, in doing so, it will... Oh no, it won't bring this guy into sword range necessarily, because I'm against a priest who can heal him. That's pretty annoying. I think I may actually dagger and... No, I can't dagger and eviscerate. This is very annoying all of a sudden. I'm just going to hit him for 2 and play a doomed questing adventurer and hope he doesn't have a Northshire cleric in his hand. Because if he goes Northshire, kill the questing adventurer, heal his golem, that will be about the best possible turn for him, and I would be very sad. Yeah, okay, that's not as bad. Still not good for me, but not as bad. He's not gaining extra cards from it anyway. So... Unfortunately, this thing is just going to get bigger and bigger. Like, it actually needs to die. And I don't have anything I can afford to cast to trigger the eviscerate. Combo doesn't trigger off making a dagger, unfortunately. I don't think I have much choice. I have to get rid of that thing. I mean, I can play the Master of Disguise and stealth this guy. So what I would do is I would attack, kill that, so at least he had to use up his Death Rattle. And then I would play the Master of Disguise, stealth this. Now the ghoul would be big enough to kill the Master of Disguise.
So many.
On the other hand, the amount of effort I'm looking at using otherwise, that may actually just be better. So yeah, I'll do that. Oh, I'm supposed to attack first, because then this guy's protected. Which is, I guess, kind of sad. Like, why do I even care? I don't know, but I'm going to do it. Ninjutsu! It makes it look like I have a plan, whereas actually I'm just hoping he trades his ghoul for my thing. Oh, no, don't make it tougher. Oh, that is not what I wanted to see. At all. If he heals it, this will be bad. If he didn't heal it, then I'd be okay. Like, his ghoul would only have 1 toughness left, I'd trade the stealth croc for it, no problem. But he's going to heal it, and now I have a problem. As it continues to grow, I need something I can cast for 3 or less. Okay, now I'm in business. Now I actually have my choice as to what to kill with stuff. So I'm going to play the Abusive Sergeant. I'm going to boost this guy, obviously. Or I could use the Abomination. I could play the Abomination and just attack through. I am worried that he could heal the ghoul and keep it alive, though. I really want that ghoul dead. I think I'm going to save the Abomination. I'm going to kill it with cheaper stuff. So, yeah, I'm going to play the Abusive Sergeant. I'm just going to hit him for 4. I'm going to use the Eviscerate, which will have combo. It'll do 4 and kill that guy, and that'll be fine.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
Actually, that leaves me enough for a weapon to kill this guy. So yeah, that's the best. That's definitely the best use of resources. It even leaves me with the durability on my dagger for next turn. And I get to do some damage. Sounds good. It did burn through a ton of my hand. gonna have to cast Sprint a little early this game. We'll see. Hopefully I can hold out until then without getting in too much trouble, because I don't want to have a position where I'm already, like, getting crushed, and then I have to cast the Sprint. The Abomination's going to have a negative impact on my guys here. I could trade all of these guys and attack to kill that, which is pretty sad. I want to play the Abomination, but I don't think he's going to work out. I think given that I have this crummy Mad Bomber here, I think what I'm actually going to want to do is trade both of these guys for him to cut down the number of targets. He will only have 1 health, and there's a good chance that the Mad Bomber will kill him then. So that's what I'm going to do. I do hate it. It's like really bad card advantage, but whatever I do, I'm going to have to, if I don't get him, I'm going to have to finish him off with the dagger. Damn it. Yeah, so my Mad Bomber did 4 damage to me vicariously, because now I have to do this, which sucks. I can't... He's a priest. I really can't leave his stuff alive, because not only might he heal it, but depending on what he draws, there are very cheap cards he can play that will cause him to gain more stuff from healing them. Especially the Northstar Clerics, which he might not have. I mean, it's a limited format. He isn't guaranteed to get them, but it would be unfortunate. Okay, he did nothing with his turn. As far as I'm concerned, that's thrilling. I could sprint now, and it's tempting, but no, I want to get out the Abomination. Because then I have a guy. And I'll hit him, and because I have no other use for the mana, I'll refresh the durability on my dagger. Abomination is good. He's in that range where, you know, the priest kill spells, they have pain for killing things with attack 3 or less, and they have death for killing things with attack 5 or more, so 4 is the sweet spot. Getting him silenced was not ideal. That was a pretty dick move there. Did not like. So, that's pretty good. I was worried, what am I going to do about him? It's going to be a pain, but no, I'm just going to use Betrayal and have the Fairy Dragon kill his thing.
Not a valid target.
Oh, I can't. Okay, hold on.
That's not a valid target.
Damn it. I forgot. That's the whole point of being a Fairy Dragon. I could do it the other way and it would kill that, but then I still have to trade my Abomination to get rid of him, which is not as cool. I can play this and the Mind Control tech. It might be a waste of the Mind Control tech, but I can use this sword. I'll take the damage, which again I was not making fun of, but criticizing the other rogue for doing. But in this case, this is going to give me the board advantage, so yeah. Because if I do that, I can kill off his Spellbreaker, and then my Abomination can kill the Fairy Dragon, and then I have stuff out and he doesn't. Which is really what I'm looking for in life. It's not good enough to have stuff. You have to have stuff and not have other people have it. And that's why there are Republicans. Now I lose half my subscribers for making a political comment.
You love my new recipe.
So that was kind of annoying. But at least my Abomination's tougher now. I really like this guy. He somehow doesn't make it into my constructed decks as much. Part of it is that, like, dislike of having a single copy of something. Like, you can have 2 copies of things. You just kind of want to have 2 copies of everything good. You feel like you're doing it wrong otherwise. With a few exceptions. Okay, so I kill him, I only take 2. I can hit my opponent back for only 4 now. It used to be much better. But I do have this guy to heal me later, and I can sprint. The obvious thing to do is sprint first. Draw so many cards. I've got cards I can cast. You know what? I'm going to use the Bluegill Warrior to take that guy down. I mean, it'd be probably better to use my weapon and do it, but I want to use my weapon for damaging my opponent. I am lower in health. I would rather use it as just direct damage for now. the bluegill allowed me to do that. A well-timed sprint is pretty handy. Sprint is actually one of those cards that I don't mind playing with only one of. I don't want to ever sit there with 2 sprints in my hand. 1 sprint should be enough, right? This guy is so good. I have 2 of those in every one of my constructed decks. He's just like the ogre that gives you +1 spell damage and is a 4/4 for 4. For 1 more mana, you draw a card. Amazing. I don't use the ogre in every deck, but I do use this guy in every deck, because he's one of the best cards that draws you a card. This I also have 2 copies of in every constructed deck, because I saw the pros use him, and then I reverse engineered the decision why. He really is just super efficient. Alright. That's kind of annoying. Yeah.
So many options.
If I betrayal him, it kills that guy, but then I'm still left with the 5/5, which is kind of a pain. I think I'm going to betrayal the other way. I'm going to use him to kill his weaker friend. Because then I can... That's not what I was supposed to do. That's what I get for... This is the problem with talking. If I wasn't talking to you, I would have done it right. But I, described what I was not planning to do, and I'm totally messed it up. Now I'm going to have to take 5 damage if I want to take him out that way. I'm going to play the Gnomish Inventor and hope I draw something better, because that was dumb. Nope, that was just dumb. Just dumb. Stupid, 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 stupid. I feel like such a tool. My board position would be... I've made so many bad misclicks in this run already. Like, horrible, horrible misclicks. If I'd done it the other way, I would have just traded my 3/3 for him, done 3 damage to my opponent instead of 1, and I would have more life. So he's kills a guy and gains a bunch of life. This guy's going to do damage to me. I'm in danger of getting burned down, although I have plans to avoid that. My guys don't kill him very easily, and I don't want to hit him without killing him. Seems like a waste of an assassinate, but I'm probably going to anyway, because I need him dead. And I can use my mana pretty efficiently. Oh, wait, I can kill him with that. Yay! I'll hit you. I'll play the Berserker. I'll heal myself. And I'll hit you with my dagger. There are always more weapons where that came from, even though they're much worse weapons. So now my position's looking okay. He's going to Holy Nova, and then it won't look so good. But if he does Holy Nova without spell power, this guy would actually get bigger. Oh. See, the Soul Priest here is kind of like giving him Shadow Form. As long as she's out, he's doing damage instead of healing with this. Which, as we all saw, I can't be trusted with, because I will always, playing with these guys will cause me to heal minions when I think I'm killing them, after it died, and then, damage myself when I think I'm healing myself, because I just can't keep track of that many things and talk at the same time. So, just so you know, when I lose games, I'm losing them for you. Not exactly because of you, but for you. That's actually pretty strong compared to my current creatures. On the other hand, I'm not too worried about being burned down if I take 3 damage plus 2 from his thing. I'm still okay. I think I'm better off playing a giant army of death and then see how he deals with it.
You gotta be kidding me! Give me a minute!
Army of death, army of death, giant army of death. I could have killed it with this and this guy, and this would have survived, so that would have been a reasonable approach. But now he's very close to dying. He has to kill at least my 2 biggest creatures, or die, basically. There's one, although it does get rid of that drawback. So that's not the worst. What's he going to do? Holy Nova? Okay, now matters are worse. Although that does boost this guy, so he has to kill it. At least I forced him to pull out all the stops. And he lost his Shadow Piece there. Okay, I'm still in a pretty good position. Got a Betrayal. It's not very useful right now, but I can hit him for a bunch. Play another creature. Get a weapon, hit him for more. He's very close to dying just from my weapon. Although he's a priest, he can totally just forestall that. If I run out of cards, he heals 2 every turn, and I only deal 1. But unless he has another Holy Nova, he's going to have a hard time stopping me. Taunt, that stops at least 1 creature. Maybe 2. But at least 1. He's got to do more than that, though. Probably heal himself. I mean, he's got lots of mana. Okay, he used Inner Fire as an impromptu humility. I gotta remember that it does that.
Well played.
Yeah, I win. And he suicides. Okay. Well, things are going pretty well. So far my theory crafting, as I chose my rogue deck, worked out. Part of that is because it did give me removal. It gave me the cards I was not exactly the cards I was looking for, but it gave me choices that worked for my plan. I was able to follow through with that plan and get a deck that I'm pretty happy with. 3-0 so far. I can't go worse than breaking even, but let's see how far we can push this thing next time. Please click the like button before it clicks you.